Good morning, students. Today we are going to take up the preparation of common size balance sheet. Common size balance sheet is prepared on the basis of the format of Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 as prescribed by the Council. The format is to be prepared in the following manner. We will start with the heading Common Size Balance Sheet and the name of the company. Underneath that, we are going to write the date as at, current year and the previous year. The balance sheet format will be the same as that of comparative balance sheet as we have done in the previous class. The only difference is the last two columns where we have to calculate percentage of balance sheet total for the current year and the previous year instead of absolute change and percentage change. So as the particulars are all the same as that of comparative balance sheet, we go straight into the calculations. Under shareholders fund, we have taken share capital. If the value of the share capital for the current year is A and that of the reserve and surplus for the current year is C, then the total of the current year is say XY, then how is the percentage change of the balance sheet total calculated for current year? It will be A divided by the total of the current year into 100 for the share capital. That is A divided by XY into 100. And for reserve and surplus, it will be C divided by the total of the current year into 100. That is C divided by XY into 100. Whereas for previous year, if the value of the share capital is B and that of the reserve and surplus is D, then and the total comes to RG, then the percentage change will be calculated as B divided by the total of the previous year, that is B divided by RG into 100, and D divided by the total of the previous year, that is D divided by RG into 100 for share capital and reserve and surplus respectively. Total of the percentage of balance sheet total for current year and the previous year will always be 100. It must not be more or less than 100. Now similarly, for assets, as because the particulars remain the same, if we take the tangible and intangible fixed assets for example, then suppose the value of tangible assets for current year is T and that of intangible assets for the current year is V and the total again comes to XY, the percentage change for the current year will be calculated as T divided by the total of the balance sheet, that is XY into 100, and V divided by the total of the balance sheet XY into 100. That will be the value of percentage of intangible assets for the current year. Again, if the value of tangible asset for the previous year is H and the value of intangible assets for the previous year is Q and the total comes to RG, then the percentage change for the previous year will be H divided by RG into 100, and for intangible assets it will be Q divided by RG into 100. Again, the total of the current year and the previous year balance sheet total percentage changes will always be 100. It must not be more or less than 100. Based on this concept, if we try to work out a sum on common size balance sheet, it will look somewhat like this. We have a data sheet for 2 years, that is 2019 and 20. Where we have shareholders fund, non-current liabilities, current liabilities, non-current assets and current assets, and their values are given for 2020 and 19 for TIL Limited. If we put that into a common size balance sheet format, it will look somewhat like this. We will start with TIL Limited, that is the name of the company. Then we'll write common size balance sheet as at 31/3/2020 and 31/3/2019. Dates are very important and the heading is also important as well. We will have the format as particulars, note number, current year, previous year and percentage of balance sheet total for current year and previous year. We have equity liabilities. Underneath that we have 3 heads: shareholders fund, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. Shareholders fund for current year is 8,10,000, for previous year is 5,40,000. Non-current liabilities for current year is 2,70,000, for previous year is 2,70,000. Current liabilities is 2,70,000 for the current year, previous year it is 90,000. Total of the current year comes to 13,50,000 and total of the previous year for equity and liabilities comes to 9 lakh. Now the percentage change. How to calculate the percentage of balance sheet total? As discussed earlier, For shareholders fund, it will be 8,10,000. That is the value of the current year divided by the total, that is 13,50,000 into 100%. 100, that is 60%. For previous year, it will be 5,40,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100. That comes to 60%. For non-current liabilities, it will be 2,70,000 divided by 13,50,000 into 100, 20%. For previous year, it will be 2,70,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100, 30%. Similarly, for current liabilities, we have calculated 20% and 10% in the similar manner. If we add up the three, that is 60%, 20% and 20%, for the current year we get 100%. For the previous year it is 60%, 30%, 10%, again it is 100%. On the asset side, we have non-current assets 9,45,000 current year and previous year 6,30,000. Current assets 4,05,000 current year and 2,70,000 previous year. Total again comes for the current year is 13,50,000 and for the previous year it is 9 lakh. Now, for the current year, the balance sheet total percentage is 70%, that is calculated as 9,45,000 divided by 13,50,000 into 100 for the non-current assets current year. And for the previous year, it is 6,30,000 divided by 9 lakh into 100, that is also 70%. Similarly, for the current assets, we have calculated 30% in each of the cases. And the total comes to 70 plus 30%, that is 100% for current year, and 70 plus 30%, that is 100% for the previous year. I hope the mechanism of preparation of common size balance sheet is clear from this illustration. Now, based on this illustration and the discussion we had done earlier for comparative balance sheet, we can work out this worksheet. This worksheet can be worked out in any old copy that you have. We have 5 sums. The first sum is comparative balance sheet. The second sum is also on comparative balance sheet. The third sum is for comparative balance sheet also. Fourth one, you have to prepare the common size balance sheet. And the fifth one, you have to prepare a common size balance sheet. If you have any doubt, you can put your questions in the comment box of this particular video.